So the issue of determining which products would be best for well development, that's tricky because we have the two types. We have well development tools, some of which are very aggressive, some of which are very non-aggressive. So for example, some people like nylon brushes if they're going to brush a well because they aren't going to scratch things up too much. And a lot of other people say, well, those will not do any good at all. I want a steel brush. Well, that's a decision depending on a lot of things, the nature of the scale that's being removed, the nature of the screen that's being cleaned, and so on. So in my mind, there's no right answer to that, but there should be a judicious decision that's thought through before they start the development so they don't do any damage. That's one thing we start out with is don't do any damage. And then with chemicals, that's challenging because many of the chemicals that are provided by suppliers have proprietary stuff in them. So we don't know all exactly what's in there. And we can do bench scale tests. I know I've done those, get a piece of scale and get some of the products and see how quickly it dissolves it and so on. Be that's on a tabletop, and it may not behave the same way as it does, 500 feet down a well. So we need to be mindful of that and study the literature. We have to do our homework. We have to talk to the suppliers. We have to ask them, put them in the spot, ask them to provide examples and proof and references and such. And then we go and we try it, and we have to learn our chemistry and our biology a little more than we ever thought we did. Because if you mix certain things, bad stuff happens. There's certain chemicals that if you mix them together, there's a violent reaction. And I have seen that happen, and I don't want to ever see it again. So this is the kind of thing we want to be mindful of. And then it goes back just like when you're designing a new well. What are you doing? What are you trying to solve? What's the problem with the well? Is it the flow rate is low, or is there a water quality issue, or both? And what's the material? Is it PVC? Is it steel? What are you dealing with? And if it's steel, what type of steel? These things need to be considered. And then what's your geology like? Are you in a limestone aquifer? Are you in a silica sand aquifer? They're going to react to acids quite differently. So there's all these different considerations, and you need to think it all through, and then your well development is going to become best. So that's a lot to do for the contractor and for the consultant, but that's the job on well development. It's not easy, just push a button and it happens. It's unfortunately complicated.